Hello there you guys, welcome to another of my live videos. So just going to give you some additional information about Bissaka as I have been updating you on a regular basis. So now according to recent reports, it does say Manchester United have had a £50 million bid turned down from Crystal Palace for Bissaka. This was not a straight £50 million offer from Manchester United. Reportedly we'd offered him £35 million up front with 15 million in bonuses, but reportedly Crystal Palace are not happy with the structure of the proposed deal and all that, and I think they're keen on a straight £50 million offer for Manchester United and all that. So obviously now we've had two bids turned down for Bissaka. Obviously we had a £40 million bid turned down for him the other week, and so obviously we do know he's been one of our top priorities. Obviously he's one of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's prime targets. Obviously plus he's British, obviously he's young as well, and obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants to recommend a number of young players to come to Manchester United this summer, and obviously he wants to recruit British talent to Manchester United this summer. Obviously I think Manchester United have held further negotiations with Crystal Palace over coming to an agreement on a fee for Bissaka and all that, but I think Bissaka has actually informed Crystal Palace that he wants to join Manchester United this summer. So whether we're going to opt out of the race now for Bissaka or not, I'm not too sure, or whether we're going to put in another bid for him. Looking at ultimately Crystal Palace don't want to sell him, but reports came out the other week saying that Crystal Palace are demanding that they want at least around £60 million for him and all that. But we know that Bissaka is proven in the Premier League so far. He has spent the entirety of his career with Crystal Palace. Obviously he's only been in their senior squad since February of last year, so he did establish himself as a first team regular last season down Bissaka, and I think he's made about 42 senior appearances. I think he's still got 3 years left on his contract with Crystal Palace, but initially when he was a lot younger, he was an out and out winner, but as he was developing and all that, he got rotated as a right back, so we do know he's predominantly a right back and all that. So I still believe he is our top priority. Some people say Bissaka of course is not worth £50 million. Also Crystal Palace, it did come out the other day saying that they want Wilfred Zaha's sell-on clause to be removed if they will allow Bissaka of course to join Manchester United. So now we've had two bids turned down for him. I think also Tottenham have inquired about his services, but like I said, we do need a right back because obviously we've got issues defensively, as that was proven last season, because we conceded 54 goals in the Premier League last season, and obviously we need to see vast improvement going on into this season. So it's very pivotal that we do get the right recruitment this summer, and that we do of course get our number one targets, because last season we finished 6th, didn't win any silverware and all that, so we need to see vast improvements going on into this season. But like I said, I think Bissaka would be the right solution for Manchester United. His defensive capabilities are very good, and I do believe he would be able to elevate Manchester United forward and all that. But like I said, I'm still cynical of Bissaka. I'm still sceptical of Bissaka coming to Manchester United and all that. I don't think there's enough credibility in it as yet. But he has told Crystal Palace that he does want to join Manchester United this summer. But like I said, we definitely need a right back, because we need a replacement for Antonio Valencia. Obviously, we do know that Antonio Valencia is leaving the club. Obviously, he's been a long-serving player at Manchester United. Of course, he's been here 10 years, but I don't know where his next destination is going to be. Obviously, we definitely need an upgrade there to Ash Young, because obviously Ash Young is one of the problematic players. Obviously, he's been here 8 years. Obviously, it was a bad mistake for Manchester United, giving him that new 1 year extension, and he's past his sell-by date. He's 33, nearly 34 years of age. So we need an upgrade to him, and we need a cover-up for Diego Dalot. So I do believe that Bissaka would be the right solution and all that. So maybe we might even now opt out of the race for Bissaka, and we may look into now bringing Thomas Meunier in, because we have been in there for Thomas Meunier, but like I said, there's been quite a few right backs on our agenda. But looking at it from a financial point of view, Thomas Meunier is going to substantially cost us a lot less than Bissaka. It came out the other week saying that PSG wanted around £25 million for him. It did say Manchester United and Arsenal have obviously been in for him, but I think from his own preference he wants to join Manchester United, because it got revealed he has been a Manchester United fan since he was a child. Thomas Meunier, obviously Meunier is 27, so he is an experienced fullback. He's predominantly a right back, but he can play in other positions as well, so very versatile. He's got goals in him, he's got assists in him. I think he's only got a year left on his deal with PSG, so I think it's looking imminent he's going to be leaving PSG, because obviously now he's surfaced 2 requirements at PSG. But maybe Arsenal would in for him, because they've got obviously got issues defensively as well. It's going to be hard for them to have a competitive window, because they're not in a Champions League football for next season, but they want to address their defensive deficiencies, and they have been in for Thomas Meunier. And obviously maybe Umran is keen on reuniting with Meunier, because Meunier has played under Unai Emery. And to be fair, Thomas Meunier, flourished under Unai Emery's guidance, but since Unai Emery left, he has found himself served his two requirements. So maybe this is one of the main factor reasons why Meunier is set to leave PSG this summer. But like I said, he's only got a year left on his deal with PSG. He's been at PSG 3 years. I think PSG, got him from Club Brugge for around £5 million, was it, back in 2016. So he's obviously not on Manchester United's agenda and all that. But yeah, he would be a much cheaper solution than Wan-Bissaka. But yeah, I still think we're going to try and get a deal over the line for Wan-Bissaka and all that. Obviously, as he updated you earlier on as well about Issa Diop from West Ham. Reportedly, he's keen on making the move to Manchester United. But I think, West Ham are reluctant, to currently sell him. And I think, West Ham want at least around £60 million for him. But reports came out about this, was it last week, saying that Manchester United were in for him and all that. Because obviously, we do need a central defender. We need someone that can go alongside Victor Lindelof in our back line. And, Issa Diop, I do believe, would be the right solution. Obviously, he's proven now in the Premier League. He's had a year of experience under his belt in the Premier League. Obviously, for West Ham last season, obviously, he played about 33 games, was it? I think he made about 38 appearances in all competitions and all that. So he did really, really well. He's 6 foot, so he's, I presume, he's very, very good in the air. I think he's also, a very, very good athlete. He's a Diop. But West Ham did get him last summer from Toulouse for around £22 million. Obviously, he did sign a 5-year contract with West Ham, so he's under contract with them until 2023. I think recent reports have said, we have currently, had a bid turned down for him. I think we put a bid in for him of around, was it £40 million? Plus, we offered a player as well as £40 million. But reportedly, West Ham have currently rejected this because West Ham do know how much of a central player he is, but he's only very, very young. He's only 22 years of age, but he does reportedly say now that Manchester United are in for him. But like I said, he's obviously going to be a much cheaper alternative, to the likes of Harry Maguire from Leicester, Koulibaly from Napoli, De Ligt from Ajax and all that. So he's going to substantially, cost us less. Is Issa Diop and all that. So would you like him, to come to Manchester United? 22 years of age, would fit Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's transfer strategy, perfectly and all that. So maybe we would like to see him come in. But like I said, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants to bring at least 5 new additions to the squad this summer. Obviously, we've already got our first signing on the board through Daniel James this summer. But obviously, and that's our first signing under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. But obviously, clearly, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to want to build on that, and he's going to want to bring another 4 or 5 players into Manchester United. He wants full areas, where he thinks Manchester United, of course, are lacking. But you can see the deficiencies in the squad. Like I said, we need a right back. We need 2 central defenders, in my opinion. I think on that left-hand side, we're okay because that, it seems the majority of our attack, seems to be coming mostly from that left-hand side. I think we need probably at least 2 new additions in that midfield. We also need a right winger, and we definitely need someone that can lead the lines and scores them goals that we do need, because obviously last season wasn't scoring enough goals, wasn't ruthless enough, of course, in front of goal and all that. But like I said, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants to build a squad, worthy of the club's history. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is working on, bringing players to Manchester United who he thinks are going to be good enough to represent Manchester United, who he thinks are going to fit the culture of the club, who of course he thinks are going to fit the history of the club and all that. Because obviously, we've got to bring players in who are going to fit the culture of the club, because obviously these cultural problems at Manchester United at the moment. Like I said, £200 million, should be enough for us, to get around 5 players on the board. Because a lot of people have said, we should be sensible with our recruitment this summer. Like I said, we are moving away from the policy, of signing well-established players. Because like I said, it's not always about, spending big on players. It's not always about, getting them Glasgow players. Like I said, you can get the best players in the world, if they're not playing as a unit, and they're not playing as a team. Of course, it's not going to currently, get you anywhere and all that. But like I said, Solskjaer was saying towards the back end of last season, he still believes we can attract players to the highest level, even though we're not in Champions League football for next season. But like I said, I think, Champions League football is always very, very pivotal, when you do want to get your number 1 targets. But analysing our recruitment policy, it's very, very poor, because obviously, we didn't get anyone in January. Obviously, we didn't get as number 1 targets last summer and all that. So we have got to get the right recruitment this summer. But the big question is now, is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, going to succeed in these conditions? And we're not expected to appoint a sporting director in. Obviously, we was linked. We've been trying to get a director of football in at least for the last couple of months, because like I said, that is a structural change. That we do need the club and all that. Like I said, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer needs backing this summer. But now it's looking like we're not going to appoint a sporting director in. So obviously, it will be Ed Woodward that will be overseeing our transfer business this summer. But there were so many names, James, you know, linked with that director as well. So I'm disappointed that, you know, that we're not getting a director of football in. But some people have said, you know, if we do get the right players to Manchester United this summer, you know, they do believe that we can maybe win the league next season, or maybe even, you know, challenger for the league next season at least. But I just don't see it happening, because I think we're a number of years off from mounting a kind of title challenge up. Like I said, our expectations, you know, going on into next season will probably, you know, to finish in the top four, maybe in the Europa League, you know, maybe win the Carabao Cup. But our expectations for next season won't be to challenge for the league or win the league, of course, because I don't think we will anywhere. Obviously, like I said, I have aspirations in the next couple of seasons. You know, we'll be fighting for that top four. Obviously, at the moment, you know, City strides ahead of us, of course. Liverpool strides ahead of us, so it's very imperative that we catch up with the likes of Manchester City and Liverpool. But obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is still in the process of rebuilding, because obviously, you know, none of these squads, he's the only player that's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's, of course, is Daniel James. Obviously, you know, we got him for a reasonable figure, you know, compared to what we paid for Lukaku, you know, and Pogba in recent years. You know, we paid 89 million for Pogba, our most expensive sign. You know, Lukaku, of course, 75 million pounds and all that. But like I said, you know, we have been mismanaged in the last 5 or 6 years, and this is the obvious reason why we've been underachieving in the last 5 or 6 years. You know, since Alex Ferguson retired, well, obviously we've had different managers with different philosophies. A hell of a lot of money has been spent into the club and all that. But like I said, I hope, you know, it works out under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because I do like him a lot. You know, he was a great player for Manchester United, you know, for 11 years under Alex Ferguson. So he knows the club inside out. Obviously, you know, managed the Manchester United reserve team. Obviously, watch some of this team at this day and age, you know, grow and develop and all that. So I hope you know, it does work out for him. You know, he hasn't really got the experience of a manager, you know, not to the highest level, and that's what, you know, does currently concern. But maybe we've got to give him at least another year, maybe give him another couple of years, and, you know, see how he does currently, you know, work out and all that. But like I said, I don't want him to get sacked, you know, because we haven't got the structure, you know, to keep sacking managers. Obviously, you know, we've already sacked 3, you know, since Alex Ferguson retired. But like I said, regardless of who our manager is, you know, no one, of course, is going to follow Alex Ferguson's legacy. But like I said, you know, we needed a structural change at the club by getting a director of footballing, but now that's not going to happen. So obviously, you know, we're going to have to stick with the same structure and all that. But, you know, we are still one of the biggest clubs in the world. You know, some players, you know, still may want to come to Manchester United and all that. But like I said, I want us to get Bissaka on the board. I want maybe Diop. I don't really know much about Diop, to be quite honest. I've read some of his stats. You know, he looks a pretty decent player and all that. But we have currently, you know, been in for him. Obviously, we're also in for Harry Maguire from Leicester as well, and recent reports were coming out about him, you know, saying that Ed Woodward is keen on recommending him in, and, you know, we are willing to pay up to £80 million for his services. And like I said, I don't think Harry Maguire is worth £80 million in my opinion. Obviously, you know, it has been Manchester United and Manchester City that have been battling it out for his services. I think City have identified him as their number one target, you know, to replace Vincent Kompany at Manchester City. Obviously. But yeah, it's been mainly Man United and City that have been battling out for these services. But I think Manchester United now, we are confident we can beat Manchester City, you know, to the sign of Harry Maguire, and we are confident that we can outbid Manchester City, you know, to get Harry Maguire, because obviously City are not willing to pay up to £80 million for him. I think, you know, City value him around £50 million, of course. But I think from Harry Maguire's own preference, I think he wants to make the move to Manchester City. Obviously, you know, City won the domestic treble last season. Obviously, you know, they are the dominant force at the moment in English football and all that, and obviously, you know, City can offer him Champions League football. But yeah, I think he wants to make the move to Manchester City. Yeah, there's Harry Maguire, but he said we are willing to pay up to £80 million for him. He said we're willing to offer him a 5-year contract, you know, worth up to around £350,000 a week. And obviously, you know, Leicester said they want 80 million. Some reports said, you know, they want 90 million, because looking at it, ultimately, you know, Leicester don't want to sell Harry Maguire. This is why they've priced him out of the transfer market. This is why, you know, they're demanding an extortionate amount for him and all that. But in my opinion, I just don't think he's worth 80 or 90 million pounds. But obviously, you know, last summer our priority, you know, was to get a centre back in. But obviously, you know, reflecting back last summer, obviously, you know, the board weren't back in the signings that Jose Mourinho wanted to recommend in. And obviously, one of the players Jose Mourinho wanted last summer was Harry Maguire. I think Leicester wanted around £70 million from there last summer, but Manchester United, of course, were reluctant to pay that. But I think now we are preparing to pay £80 million to him. Obviously, you know, if this was to process, obviously, you know, this would make Harry Maguire the most expensive defender in world football. Also, you know, make him the most expensive English player of all time, ahead of Kyle Walker. But we do know the most expensive defender in world football at the moment is Liverpool's Virgil van Dijk, who Liverpool, of course, paid £75 million for. But Harry Maguire has been at Leicester a couple of seasons. I think he's made about 101 appearances in the Premier League in total. Obviously, you know, Leicester got him couple of seasons ago from Hull City, you know, for around £17 million. So if Leicester can get around £80 million, but, you know, looking at it from a financial point of view and looking at it from a Leicester perspective, you know, they will, they will make a huge profit on the player because, like I said, you know, they paid £17 million for him. Obviously, you know, Leicester, he signed a new long-term contract with Leicester last summer, so he's under contract with Leicester until 2023. But obviously, Harry Maguire's going to want to, even if he doesn't leave this summer, you know, at some point in his career, he's going to want to, you know, he's going to want to take his footballing career to the next level. Of course, he's going to want to rejuvenate his career and all that. But like I said, it is Man United and City that are battling out for his services. But like I did currently say, you know, he wouldn't be guaranteed first team football if he was to go to Manchester City, because obviously, you know, City have got the likes of John Stones, you know, they've got Mendy, you know, they've got Laporte and all that, so he wouldn't be guaranteed first team football week in, week out. But, you know, if he was to come to Manchester United, you know, we'd definitely, you know, be able to guarantee him first team football. And I do think he'd blend in very, very well alongside Victor Lindelof in our backline. Like I said, he's proven in the Premier League, so he knows about the Premier League, plus he's British, and obviously, you know, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants to recruit British talent to Manchester United this summer. And he's only 26 years of age and he's in his prime, and, you know, he has still got a lot of years ahead of him. But like I said about Issa Diop, he's obviously a cheaper solution than Harry Maguire. So maybe if we can't get a deal over the line for Issa Diop, we will look to getting a deal finalised there for Harry Maguire. Obviously, you know, Matty Stillett has been on our agenda, you know, for quite some time, because obviously it's looking very imminent that Matty Stillett is going to be leaving Ajax this summer. Obviously, it still remains uncertain where he will be playing his trade next season, because Matty Stillett has not yet, you know, made a decision on his current future. But yeah, you know, I like Matty Stillett a lot, but I don't see us, you know, now getting a deal over the line for him. In terms of the transfer fees, he's going to cost you from 70 to 75 million pounds, because that's what he's initially rated at. But like I said, he has not yet, you know, made a decision on his future. According to recent reports, I think now PSG are considered to be the favourites to get the player's signature. It reportedly said that PSG had offered around 70 million pounds to Ajax plus add-ons included, and it also said that PSG offered a 5-year contract to Matty Stillett, you know, worth around £340,000 a week and all that. So he could be playing his trade in France next season. It did say Matty Stillett's agent Raiola has obviously, you know, held talks with PSG sporting director, of course, over getting a deal finalised. You know, but it did initially say the other week that his two likely destinations are Barcelona and PSG. But we do know, I think now Barcelona have turned him down, or he's turned Barcelona down. It's one or the other. But we do know at least last couple of months anyway that Barcelona have been in the ascendancy of getting him. Obviously, Barcelona have already got a deal over the line for his current teammate Frankie de Jong, who, of course, you know, Barcelona, you know, paid £65 million for. But at one point, he was looking very imminent. He was, you know, going to be going to Barcelona. But obviously, you know, I don't think he's going to be going to Barcelona now, because obviously, you know, Barcelona, you know, can't come to an agreement on the terms because they're not willing to meet what the Lit's demanding. You know, they're not willing to meet what his agent Raiola, of course, is demanding and all that. So this is the main factor reason why Barcelona, I don't think are currently, you know, going to be getting him now. But, you know, quite a few teams have inquired about his services. Obviously, you know, Bayern Munich were in for him at one point, but they've opted out of the race. You know, Juventus were in for him. Obviously, you know, Liverpool, of course, were in for him. Like I said, the main factor reason why Liverpool were in for him, because obviously, you know, Liverpool have got Virgil van Dijk, and obviously, you know, Liverpool were keen on putting Matty Stillett alongside Virgil van Dijk in their backline. They've got a good relationship, Van Dijk and, you know, Matty Stillett. You know, they're both Dutch. You know, they both play in the Netherlands national team and all that. But I don't think he'll be going to Liverpool. I think before Manchester City, of course, were in for him. But like I said, I think he'll end up, you know, now making the move to PSG. But he did say the other week, you know, that we'd offered him a contract, you know, with up to 350 grand a week. Obviously, you know, that equates to almost 17 million pounds a year. And obviously, if that was to process, that'd make him the highest paid teenager in world football. Also make him the most expensive you know, making the highest paid player, at Manchester United and all that, or one of the highest paid players. But I don't think he's going to be coming, because obviously I think Matty Stillett, you know, wants to join a club that can offer him Champions League football, and obviously wants to join a club that can assure him first team football, and that's one thing Manchester United would be able to offer him. Obviously we can't offer him Champions League football, but would be able to guarantee him first team football week in, week out, and he would help us with our own rebuilding project and all that. Would Matty Stillett, you know, he's only 19 years of age, you know, very, very young. But obviously, you know, wants to rejuvenate his career and take his footballing career to the next level. But so far, he has spent the entirety of his career with Ajax. I think he's been an Ajax player since the age of 8, the age of 9. Progressing them up the ranks fantastically well. But I think he's been senior squad since 2016. He made his senior debut with just the age of 17. Got named captain at just the age of 18 and all that. Enjoyed a good season last season with Ajax, of course. Winning the domestic double with them. That was the first time Ajax, won the domestic double for in 17 years. I think it was the first time they won it. Obviously, they won the Eredivisie title for the first time in 5 years, and of course, progressed to Champions League semi-final and all that. So many teams have inquired about Matthijs de Ligt's services. But like I said, I don't think, Manchester United are currently, going to be getting him. But like I said, I think we need 2 central defenders without a shadow of a doubt. Because like I said, Smalling's not good enough. Phil Jones, of course, is not good enough. And, they have been 2 long-serving players at the club, with Chris Smalling and Phil Jones. And, they're just not good enough anymore. They're not good enough to represent Manchester United. Plus they're both aging up. It was a bad mistake for Manchester United, giving Smalling and Phil Jones new long-term contract. Comparing Smalling and Jones, I think Smalling's a much, much better defender than Phil Jones. But like I said, there shouldn't be really here next season, but we know they are going to be. We've got Eric Bailly, but like I said, Eric Bailly's career has been badly affected. The amount of injuries he has sustained. Obviously, his fallout under managers and all that. So his Manchester United career has been badly affected, as Eric Bailly's, of course. And I think, we would be open to selling him. I don't think we'll sell him this summer. We probably would be looking to recoup the initial £30 million, that we did pay for him. From Villarreal back in 2016 and all that. But yeah, I think we need to sell Eric Bailly. I like him when he's fully fit. He's got great potential and all that. And when he first came in, he did hit the scenes in the Premier League. Eric Bailly, I think he's made about 50 appearances for us. Scored about 1 goal. But like I said, his career now has been badly affected. I think it's looking very imminent that Rojo and Darmian, of course, are going to be leaving the club because they've both enjoyed difficult times. Unless we can get around 25 or 30 million pounds, for Matteo Darmian and Marcus Rojo or all that. And like I said, another problem with Manchester United, we have let far too many players' contracts run down. Obviously, De Gea is in the final year of his contract. He's looking very imminent that David De Gea is going to be leaving the club. Even I think reports came out, was it last week sometime, saying that we was preparing to offer him a new contract. Obviously, it came out a couple of weeks ago saying that we had a final contract offer, turned down for David De Gea. But obviously, it didn't. As you said, David De Gea, wants around 350 grand a week. Obviously, we're not willing to meet his 350,000 £1,000 a week, 350 grand a week wages, and I think PSG are willing to meet his 350,000 £1,000 a week wage demands and all that. But I think now PSG, I think that's his likely destination. Is PSG. Obviously now PSG have set their interest up even more in De Gea because obviously PSG have lost their Buffon and all that. We also know Real Madrid have been long admirers of David De Gea. They was on the brink of getting him 2015, but due to a fax machine, of course, the deal never currently materialised. But De Gea said, he wants 350 grand a week if he's to sign a new contract with Manchester United and if he's to remain loyal to Manchester United. But he has remained loyal to us for 8 years, so he has been a long servant here. He has made over 300 odd appearances in all competitions. Obviously, he's won everything here domestically. He's won the Club's Player of the Year 4 times out of the last 6 years and all that. And he has been here since the Alex Ferguson era. We got him in 2011 from Atletico Madrid, for around 17 million pounds and all that. And he hasn't really done much wrong in his 8-year period with the club. Obviously, he was making costly errors towards the back end of last season, but that was mainly to do with the contractual situation and all that. But I think at full value for a goalkeeper, De Gea is definitely worth £100 million because he's potentially the best goalkeeper in the world. But like I said, we're not going to get £100 million because obviously he's in the final year of his contract and all that. But I do believe we can get around £60 million for him, maybe £70 million. We want to cash in for him this summer rather than letting go on a free transfer next year because that would be a calamity indeed. But like I said, I think we need to definitely buy a goalkeeper to replace him. I don't think it's in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's plans to do that because I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is reportedly willing to promote Sergio Romero as our number one goalkeeper, as reports were saying 2 or 3 weeks ago. But like I said, I've got reservations about this because I don't think Romero is reliable enough as yet, to become our number one goalkeeper. Obviously, we've got Dean Henderson, but Dean Henderson is too inexperienced at the moment, and he has been on loan with Sheffield United. So I think the club need to orchestrate on sending Dean Henderson out on loan for another season and all that. But yeah, we definitely need to buy a goalkeeper to replace him. And there's been quite a few names mentioned. There was a lot of talks about John Blanc going on last week. Obviously, Jordan Pickford's been mentioned in the past and all that. So who would you get, to replace David De Gea? And that is the question. Obviously, Rashford is in the final year of his deal at Manchester United. I don't think Manchester United have orchestrated on selling Marcus Rashford, even though he has been inconsistent in the last couple of months. But he had sustained, quite a few injuries last season. I think that had a bad effect on his game. But obviously, we do know it's going to take Rashford at least a couple of years, to emulate to that level. Of course, he has not yet, got graduated to that level, and it's going to, like I've just said, it's going to take him a couple of years, to do that. But he is a long-term solution for Manchester United. He's only 21 years of age, so still got a hell of a lot of development in him. But he's in, like I said, he's in the final year of his contract. We have been in talks of getting Marcus Rashford a new contract, for quite some time. I think Barcelona have been in for him before. Also, Real Madrid have been in for Marcus Rashford before. But obviously, Rashford loves the club. I don't think maybe won't be intending on spending the rest of his playing career with Manchester United. Probably not, depending on how we are in the next couple of seasons and all that. But he's only 21 years of age, and he has been a Manchester United player, since the age of 7, the age of 8. Progressed up the ranks fantastically well, and he's been in the senior squad with us since 2016. So I don't think we're intending on selling him. Obviously, we've got Juan Mata, like I said, I think he's got about 2 weeks left on his existing deal with the club. I think reports came out, was it the other week, as he updated you on saying that we are willing to offer Juan Mata a new contract. Obviously, it wouldn't have been a long-term contract, that would have offered him, because obviously, reflecting on his age, he is 31 years of age now, he's Juan Mata, and of course, he has lost that yard of pace. We have been in talks for quite some time, to try and get Juan Mata a contract extension. So I do presume we've probably offered him a 1 year or a 2 year extension. But I probably think, he could possibly, be still leaving Manchester United. At one point, he was looking very imminent, and now we had a release list of around 14 players. But obviously, Juan Mata, of course, was not included in that release list. But like I said, Juan Mata's had a great career at Manchester United. He has been here 5 years. He's made 218 appearances in all competitions. He scored about 45 goals. So he has been a good servant here, and I think he's been in the Premier League about 7.5, 8 years now, including his 2.5, 3 years he had with Chelsea when he was younger and all that. But we do know it has been Newcastle that have been in for him, as reports were saying a couple of weeks ago. Obviously, as well, Barcelona have been in talks of getting him on a free transfer. But I think if Juan Mata does leave the club this summer, I think maybe for his own preference, he wants to make the return back to Spain, because actually he's born in Spain. Obviously began his career in Spain, with Real Madrid and all that. Had 4 years there with Valencia under Rami. Of course, this is when Juan Mata was a lot younger, but initially now we know he doesn't get in the Manchester United squad. He's basically used there as a squad player. So maybe some people saying that Juan Mata, of course, should go. I think it was a bad mistake from us, letting Ander Herrera go on a free transfer. So yeah, like I said, that's been a problem. We have let far too many players contracts run down. Obviously, as I've been updating you on a regular basis as well about Sean Longstaff from Newcastle, it's looking very imminent. He's coming to Manchester United. A lot of reports were reflecting out last week, saying that we are closing in on around the £25 million deal for him. So that is very, very cheap indeed. He's only 21 years of age. I think he's British, is Sean Longstaff. I think last season was his first season in the senior squad with Newcastle. I think he played about 9 games for Newcastle under Rafael Benitez last season. I think he had sustained a knee ligament injury in March, so obviously he didn't play the last couple of months of the season last season due to the injury he had sustained, and I still think he's recovering from that knee ligament injury. I might be wrong, I don't know, but I think he may be still recovering from that injury he had sustained. He's also had loan spells with Kilmarnock and Blackpool and all that, and I think he's been on Manchester United agenda for quite some time, but I think he's a box-to-box midfielder, Sean Longstaff, so hopefully we can get him a deal over the line for him. Obviously, as I've been updating you, as he updated you yesterday about Yuri Tillemans, because it is past 12 now. Obviously now I think it says we have refused the chance to sign Yuri Tillemans, because reportedly he's been offered Yuri Tillemans has been offered the chance to be signed and all that, but reportedly Manchester United have currently refused this. But I think Yuri Tillemans would be a good adequate replacement for Paul Pogba, because I've already given you the latest news about Pogba. Obviously we do know that, but it's looking very likely that Paul Pogba is going to be leaving the club, as he did confirm a couple of days ago now and all that, as I've updated you on a regular basis. So I think Yuri Tillemans would be the good adequate replacement for him. He's only 22 years of age. Now recent reports are saying that Leicester Leicester are, emerged to the front runners, to get the players their signature. Obviously, Leicester are keen on getting him on a permanent deal. Leicester have been in talks about with Monaco about this, because obviously, Leicester have just had him on loan. Obviously, Leicester, he's had about 5-6 months of experience, under his belt in the Premier League. He had been on loan, with Leicester since January, but obviously now he has returned to Monaco as Yari Tillemans. But I think, Yari Tillemans has confirmed that he will not, be staying with Monaco next season. So looking likely he will be playing his trade somewhere else next season and all that. But yeah, quite a few teams have been in for him, but recent reports said now we have pulled out of the race for him. But yeah, I think also Tottenham have inquired about his services. Obviously, Manchester City have been there for Yari Tillemans. I think he's mainly a box-to-box midfielder. He can also, play him as an attacking midfielder. So I do believe he would be the right solution for Manchester United. But a lot of reports came out last week, saying that, we had, revived our interest in Yari Tillemans. It did say we'd been in negotiation with his agent over the possible deal and all that. But he is available for a reasonable figure. I think, Monaco rate him at around £40 million. He is under contract with Monaco till 2022, and like I said, he's a pretty decent player, Yari Tillemans. But initially, Monaco, got him for around £21 million back in 2017 for Anderlecht, because he initially began his career with Anderlecht, and I think Manchester United, were tracking him, when he was at Anderlecht. But I think actually, Monaco are open, to currently selling him. So I think Leicester now are keen on getting him on a permanent deal, because he was pivotal under Leicester's transformation under Brendan Rodgers. But like I said, it's now saying, that Leicester are in the ascendancy, because now reportedly Manchester United have pulled out of the race. Obviously, as I've been updating you on a regular basis about Bruno Fernandes from Sporting Lisbon, obviously, I hope, he can come to Manchester United. A lot of reports were emerging out yesterday, obviously, saying now that Liverpool have put a bid in for him of around €45 million. Obviously, that equates to around £40 million in pound sterling. I don't think, this would be enough, to convince Sporting Lisbon to offload him. I think Liverpool are the first team, to make any formal bid for Bruno Fernandes. But a lot of reports came out from Portugal the other week, saying, that Liverpool had entered the race for him. Obviously, we do know previously, Tottenham have been in there for Bruno Fernandes. That obviously now it's confirmed that Tottenham have pulled them out of the race. Obviously, Tottenham have got quite a few players on their agenda. Obviously, they were basically seeing Bruno Fernandes as a replacement for Christian Eriksen, because Christian Eriksen is linked with move to Real Madrid, and Tottenham are going to want a replacement for him and all that if it goes to Real Madrid. And obviously, there was basically seeing Bruno Fernandes as an alternative, to Giovanni Lo Celso. But now, it reportedly said now that Tottenham have pulled them out of the race. Obviously, I think it also said that Atletico Madrid are preparing to put a bid in for Bruno Fernandes of around £44.6 million sometime this weekend, as that did confirm. But yeah, so many teams, quite a few teams have inquired about his services. I think also Inter Milan have been in there for him. But I still think, we are regarded as, the favourites, to get a deal over the line for him. It did literally say, that we had scheduled a meeting with Sporting Lisbon, to get a deal finalised for Bruno Fernandes. I think Sporting Lisbon, want at least around £50 million for him. But it did say the other week that we are preparing to pay around £70 million for Bruno Fernandes. But he's only at 24, we're preparing to pay £70 million. But like I said, he's only 24 years of age, very, very young, primarily an attacking midfielder and all that. So, we would see Bruno Fernandes as the adequate replacement for Paul Pogba. Obviously scored 31 goals in all competitions for Sporting Lisbon last season. He's been at Sporting Lisbon a couple of seasons, and he's done really, really well. He's exceeded expectation levels and all that. Let's be honest, he hasn't, really played to the highest level as yet. But I do believe, he's had a good couple of seasons with Sporting Lisbon, and I do believe he can, replicate that in the Premier League with Manchester United and all that. And I do believe he can exceed expectation levels in the Premier League. He is under contract with Sporting Lisbon until 2023. Obviously, his initial release clause is around £86 million. But Manchester City have also been in for Bruno Fernandes. It's been mainly Man United and Manchester City that have been battling out for his services and all that. But obviously, as it got confirmed the other week, now that Manchester City have withdrawn their interest, of course, they have pulled them out of the race. City were only willing to offer around £47 million for his services, plus the City were willing to, of course, offer a couple of their players as part of the deal. But, Bruno Fernandes, was saying, he would talk to Sporting Lisbon about leaving if a team come up with an offer, that he couldn't currently refuse. He still follows the Italian football and all that, because Bruno Fernandes, did spend the majority of his career in Italy, when he was younger, the likes of Underneath and Sampdoria and all that. So hopefully, we can get a deal over the line for Bruno Fernandes, because obviously he's been on our agenda for quite some time, and of course he's one of our main priority targets. He's one of our main priority targets and all that. So more things you'll know. We'll definitely update about Bruno Fernandes. Obviously, as I've been updating you on a regular basis as well about Adrian Rabiot from PSG. Haven't read up much about him lately, but I read up about him a couple of days ago, saying that he'd held talks with Juventus over a possible move to Juventus and all that. Obviously, Juventus have just appointed Maurizio Sarri as their new manager. Obviously, because Massimiliano Allegri had currently stepped down as Juventus manager. So obviously now Sarri has made the return back to Italy and all that. But yeah, Juventus, I think are in for Adrian Rabiot and all that. But I think from Adrian Rabiot's perspective, I think he remains uncertain where he will be, playing next season. I think it's looking very imminent. He's going to be leaving PSG. But quite a few teams have inquired about his services. Obviously, Manchester United have been in there. Obviously, Arsenal have obviously inquired about his services. I think Liverpool, of course, have been in for him. I think previously, Everton were in for him and all that. But it will be very beneficial because obviously, no team has to pay any transfer fee for him this summer because obviously he's good. Well, I don't think he's a free agent at the moment, but he is going to be a free agent at the beginning of next month. Obviously, his contract term expires at the beginning of next month. Does Adrian Rabiot? And I think people have got reservations about his attitude because his attitude is really, really bad. I think also his mother acts like his agent, but I think he's going to be leaving PSG. But he has not played a single game for PSG this year. Obviously, he had been withdrawn from the PSG squad last year by Thomas Tuchel. Based on his refusal to sign a new contract. But it came out a couple of weeks ago saying that we'd offered him a contract, worth up to around £170,000 a week. Obviously, this equates to almost £17 million a year. And, almost equates to £10 million a year. Sorry, that was my current mistake. So basically, it said we're willing to meet the salary demands. It said there was a sign-on fee of £10 million included. Obviously, that equates, like I said, to around £170,000 a week. But yeah, he did say we was willing to meet his salary demands. But Adrian Rabiot has spent the majority of his career with PSG. Like I said, he's been a long-serving player for them. He has been there 8 years. Obviously, he's won 18 major honours, including 5 League One titles. Obviously, graduated from their youth system, being their senior squad, since 2012. But he has been a long-serving player with them. Obviously, had the spell with Manchester City, of course, when he was younger. So he did say Arsenal had expressed their interest because obviously, obviously, Adrian Rabiot played under Unai Emery. To be fair, Adrian Rabiot, flourished under Unai Emery's guidance, but he's only 24 years of age. He has still got a lot of years ahead of him. I think he's primarily a central midfielder. So, would you like Adrian Rabiot to come to Manchester United? Obviously, we will probably see him as a replacement for Ander Herrera. I think Ander Herrera is going to PSG, so PSG are going to see Ander Herrera as the replacement for Adrian Rabiot. So, yeah, quite a few teams have been in there for him. I think previously Tottenham have been in for him. I think at one point, Barcelona were in for him, but I think based on his salary demands and the sign-on fee, he's put some teams off. So they have, some teams I think have pulled them out of the race for Adrian Rabiot. But he's another midfielder on Manchester United's agenda. And like I did currently say, I think we need a holding midfield without a shadow of a doubt. I think Matic isn't good enough. He's too inconsistent. Is Nemanja Matic. He's aging up, he's too slow, too ineffective in that midfield. So I think we need to get rid of him this summer. But obviously, that's not obviously going to happen. We've got McTominay, but McTominay, of course, is too inexperienced at the moment. And obviously, Fellaini left back in January. So I do believe that we need a holding midfielder. But yeah, that's one of the pivotal areas where Manchester United needs to strengthen up because we need depth in that midfield, we need someone that can score our goals from that midfield. And Bruno Fernandes would definitely, be the right solution without a shadow of doubt. But yeah, and Joe Felix from Benfica, is Manchester United and Manchester City that are battling out for his services. I think also Atletico Madrid have been in for him. Obviously, Liverpool were in for him in January. I think Real Madrid have been in for him before. So he has been subjected to a lot of transfer speculation because he has been relentlessly linked to a move away from Benfica since January. Obviously, I think Manchester United have been scouting, Joe Felix since January. Reflecting on his impressive performances throughout the course of last season. Obviously, last season was only his first season in the senior squad with Benfica, and obviously he has not yet made his senior debut with Portugal. But Joe Felix is probably going to cost you around £105 million, because obviously that's his buyout clause, and obviously Benfica blatantly made it clear if they are willing to offload him, they want his buyout clause triggered. But I think it did say before that Manchester United and Manchester City are willing to trigger, Joe Felix's buyout clause. But very versatile indeed, and he can play he's primarily an attacking midfielder. I think he can also play as a winner, a striker, and a secondary striker. So very, very versatile. So that's beneficial. And like I said about Joe Felix, I do believe he can emulate into one of the best players in the world. Obviously, got a hell of a lot of development in him, and I do believe he can. If he comes to the Premier League, it'd obviously rejuvenate his career, take his footballing career to the next level. And I do believe he's got all the attributes to currently succeed in the Premier League. So yeah, Man United have also been in for Joe Felix. But like I did currently say and all that, the main part of this video, was to give you the latest news about Bissaka. Reportedly now we've put an offer we've put a £50 million bid in for him. This has been turned down, but it wasn't a straight £50 million offer, because it was £35 million up front, with £15 million in bonuses. And obviously Crystal Palace don't like the structure of the proposed deal. From Crystal Palace's perspective, they want a straight £50 million offer and all that. Whether Manchester United will be willing to do this or not, I do not currently know. But like I currently said, £200 million should be enough, to get us around 4 or 5 players on the board. Like I said, we sell Pogba, we sell Lukaku, we'll probably raise around £200 million there. But to be quite honest with you, it is looking like that Pogba's going to be going, and it is probably looking likely that Romelu Lukaku is currently going. But like I said, we sell them too. It's going to help us with our rebuilding process. It will also help us out with our transition. But Solskjaer's working on keeping his imperative players at the football club, and obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer knows how imperative that Paul Pogba is. But like I currently said, it's looking likely, he's currently, going to be leaving. So like I said, I think probably 3 or 4 players are expected to leave this summer, maybe 5 at the tops. But yeah, I hopefully, Sanchez can leave as well, because he's one of the problematic players at the football club. But we'll see what happens. But we're back with more live videos in the morning. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do consider subscribe, as always, and take care. God bless you all again very, very soon, guys. Thanks for watching.